What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dobrunsky here, and today I'm going to be breaking down the Magic Finding Lightning Sorceress build. So when Diablo 2 Resurrected actually launches, mark my words here, 90% of the builds on the first ladder are going to be Smiters for farming torches, Hammerdens for farming Chaos Sanctuary, Blizzard Sorceresses for moat tricking Mephisto and doing general budget magic finding, and then the remainder are going to be endgame Lightning Sorceress builds. That is honestly going to make up like 90% of the builds. Everything else will be kind of niche stuff that people want to play to be different. So I thought it'd be a good idea to do a refresher on this character. So the purpose behind this video is to just sort of show how I would suggest building an endgame generic, like all around magic finding lightning sorceress. So if you want to farm Bale, Chaos Sanctuary, the pits, this is going to be the build for you. It's not like a 700 MF pit running players one solo build. It can really do everything. You can magic find solo, you can play with other party members and actually do significant damage. That's just the purpose of this video, just a general, overall kind of great magic finding ladder lightning sorceress build. Like all of my previous build videos, timestamps will be in the description below. So if you guys want to bounce back and forth between specific segments of the video, like the intro, the attributes, the gear, or the gameplay, they're for you guys to use, so please take advantage of them. And also a quick reminder, if you guys do enjoy my YouTube content, I do stream twice a week on Twitch. Got the link for my Twitch channel in the description below, Twitch/Dobrunsky125. So any follows over there on that platform would be very much appreciated. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's jump in. To start off this video, there's 3 key points that I want to cover for the Lightning Sorceress. The first, that this is an end game build only. It does not work without stacking numerous plus skills and having very rare items or rune words like Infinity or Griffin's Eye. You just can't make it work without Infinity. I just have to make that very clear for anyone who might be like, oh, you know, it's a super end game, you know, build, all this crazy hard to find gear. Well, that's the point of it. It is an end game Lightning Sorceress build. You use your Blizzard Sorceress first to get to that point. Once you have your facets, Griffins, Infinity, etc., that is when the character really starts to shine. The second point is that the Lightning Sorceress has unique faster cast rate breakpoints for lightning and chain lightning specifically. So I got them listed there beside me, you guys can check them out. But your standard 105 FCR, that's for like teleport, static, blizzard, meteor, etc. Those skills all rely on those FCR breakpoints. But lightning specifically, you need to reach 117 to have the same equivalent breakpoint of 105 FCR. So that's something you need to take into consideration with a lot of your gear. But again, helmets or diadems like Griffins have a lot of FCR on them, so they kind of help compensate for that extra FCR push that you need to get past 105. And the final point that I want to mention is please do not use the unique item Eshuta's Temper. Trust me, it is not that good. If you want to go pure damage, there are better options like using the rumored Crescent Moon. That is your pure damage setup. The minus 30 enemy lightning resistance is way more damage than that plus 20% lightning damage. That's because it's only added on to the mastery of your lightning mastery skill. So it's really not as good as what you think it is. I will actually demonstrate the difference in value between Heart of the Oak and Eshuta's Temper. It's like an extra 1500 lightning damage, maybe 2k max, depending on how many plus skills you have. And then you're sacrificing a lot of other beneficial stats like increased mana, or a lot of all resistances on Hoto. It's really just not worth it. I highly recommend sticking away from the unique item Eshuta's Temper. So the attribute distribution for this Lightning Sorceress is very standard. It's just your max Vita setup. So when we look at the strength, I have 156. That's just enough to equip the Runeward Spirit and the Monarch Shield. I have nothing into dexterity, nothing into energy, and then all of my remaining points are put into vitality. Now because of the body armor that I'm using, again more on that when we go into the gear, I have 512 points into vitality or 1276 life prior to battle orders, 680 mana prior to battle orders, and then I have completely capped resistances except for fire, which is 73 instead of a total of maximum 75, so that's really not that big a deal. But yeah, capped res, good life pool, and then pretty good damage. You can see I have 6 to 40k lightning damage. And then for the skill tree, it's a very standard setup for the Lightning Sorceress build. So first starting off with the fire skill tree, I have 1 hard point into warmth. That's just for a really nice solid passive mana recovery. And then for the cold skill tree, we just have 1 point into frozen armor. This is a really nice 1 point wonder for a lot of defense bonus. So I have 115% defense bonus at level 18, just a nice little passive 1-point wonder buff. And then the lightning skill tree is where the majority of the skill points are invested, obviously because we are a lightning sorceress. So I completely maxed out lightning and all of its synergies, so that means 20 hard points into charge bolt, 20 hard points into lightning, 20 hard points into nova. Again, the same with chain lightning. And then I completely maxed out lightning mastery. Telekinesis I have 1 hard point into. You'll see that the teleport icon here is blue. That is because I'm using the rune word Enigma, so I don't actually have to invest a hard point to get teleport. And then I have 1 hard point into Thunderstorm just for a little bit of extra passive damage. You can opt to use this or not use this, or if you want to, you could put 1 hard point into Energy Shield or an extra hard point into Frozen Armor. It really doesn't matter at this point in the build. It's kind of just your leftover points after everything's maxed. You can sort of tailor them depending on what level you are and how you want to. So for the gear check for this Lightning Sorceress, again, remember that the goal behind it is to try and make an all-encompassing build. So not 600 MF, solo magic finding, not pure damage, just something that you can kind of do both with maybe just tailoring the inventory a little bit depending on how much MF you want. Again, the goal being to try and simulate a solid all-around magic finding character for the Diablo 2 Resurrected ladder reset. So starting off with the weapon, Hoto, 3 doll skills, 40 FCR and a bunch of all res. I have an Isted Griffins for 1 doll skills, lightning damage and MF. Maras for 2 doll skills, attributes and a bunch of all res. A 35 FCR Spirit, paired with the body armor Enigma. Why Enigma? Well, look at all the stats besides teleport. I mean, 2 doll skills, a bunch of MF, strength, maximum life, damage reduction, just a solid body armor, and you also save 1 additional skill point by not having to invest a skill into teleport. The boots, 20 faster run walk, 10 FHR tri-res MF boots, 2 SOJs, Resurrected Mesh for 1 doll skills and 20 FCR, and then I have 37 MF chance guards just for a little bit more MF. If you wanted to, you could use Blood Fists maybe for more plus life and faster hit recovery. You could use Mage Fists, but the FCR is overkill. I already have, 40, 35, plus the 20 here, plus the 25. I already have that 117 FCR breakpoint. So it's up to you. If you wanted to, you could really, use Trang's gloves, I guess, if you want cold res, but that's the reason why I have Chance Guard's gloves. Then in the offhand, I have CTA and Spirit for battle orders, again for more plus life. And then the rest of the inventory, Torch and Annie, Ede's Grand Charm, different assorted lightning skillers, and then different assorted resistance MF small charm. So again, making sure my res is capped. I have pretty solid damage and good MF. If you want to purely focus on solo, you could definitely swap out some skillers for MF small charms. Again, you could store that in your inventory for the D2R ladder. So again, the idea of just being able to do everything. And then for my mercenary, I'm using an Act 2 Nightmare Defensive Mercenary for Holy Freeze for more crowd control. And then I have Treachery for the increased attack speed and DR from Fade proc. Chammed V-Gaze, again, 20 DR and cannot be frozen with the Chamber. That's a little bit overkill. It's kind of one of my novelty items. Dario's Visage, there's a lot of other helmets you could use. And then I have Infinity and Ethereal Thresher for that Conviction Aura support. So the Mercenary provides good crowd control and also that precious, super important Conviction Aura, which basically is completely mandatory to make this character viable. Like I mentioned in the intro, I wanted to include a quick little section here comparing the damage output of Hoto to Eshuta's Temper. Really trying to reiterate my point of do not use Eshuta's Temper. Please do not use it. So at level 43, 6 to 39,515 damage, that's using Heart of the Oak. We get a lot of really nice bonuses like maximum mana, all res, you get 3 doll skills like you get on Eshuta's Temper, but 39,515 damage. And then I'm going to put on a perfect 320 Eshuta's Temper. There's room for a little bit more damage with a facet, but this is the change in damage value. 40,699. So it's barely over 1,000 damage. So what's more important to you, having like 30 to 40 res and the increased maximum mana of Hoto, or potentially like an Aussie and getting more magic find, or an extra 1k lightning damage when you already have basically 40,000? You can make that call, but just do not use Eshuta's Temper. So I want to wrap everything up by doing a player's 1 pit run to simulate magic finding by yourself on the D2R ladder, and then do a player's 8 bail run to try and kind of mimic playing in a large party group and sort of demonstrate how this build is kind of designed to do everything and how I think it does a pretty good job. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased. I kind of put the build together, but I do think it does everything. So again, we'll largely just focus on champions and boss packs for the pit run. Definitely see that my damage is a little bit overkill. Mana burn there. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to carry some extra small charms in your inventory so that when you plan on doing solo MFing, you can pump that magic find percentage up a little bit. And then when you want to play with others in the group, you can just swap your skillers back. And you can definitely use Chain Lightning. It's good for clearing up mobs, but I kind of, for the most part, prefer to point and shoot with lightning. But it's definitely a good option for clearing up a lot of this trash mobs and stuff like that. That's just a really quick players 1. It's locked. Players 1 pit run, and then we'll do players 8 bail. Kind of show you what the build is capable of. So I think with just the fact that you just have to swap your inventory out a little bit to try and make like a little bit more ideal of a build for magic finding, that it's a pretty solid all-around build. Avoid those players. Okay, players 8 difficulty. So for bail running, a little trick is if you stick in the back here, couple statics and then chain lightning. It's a good way to take out those bail waves. Again, that was players 8 difficulty. First wave went down right away. Same thing, static to health, half health, couple chain lightnings. Wave 2 is down. So rinse and repeat. Two more waves. Again, this is the hardest difficulty setting, so you can imagine how if you can achieve a build like this on ladder, you'll definitely be able to contribute damage-wise in group gameplay. And this final wave, I think it's better to just, well, even you could argue wave 4 and 5, but to point and shoot and use lightning. Chain lightning just doesn't quite have the damage output. You can really see that crowd control from the Holy Freeze Mercenary. Really shines. And we'll go down to P3 because Bale's experience is capped out at players 3. Hopefully that's fixed in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Same idea, a bunch of statics. Finish him off with some lightning. And just a plain crowd. But Bale is dead. Well guys, there you have it. That wraps up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, I tried to build this sort of as being a generic ladder farming MF Sorceress. So let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree or completely disagree with the gear. And as always, if you guys could throw a like on this video, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content on YouTube, and I do stream twice a week on Twitch. 20 follows on Twitch or subs on YouTube would be amazing. Other than that, guys, hope you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll catch you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.